Believe, become, belong. These three words have the same prefix, be. Be as in to be, representing our identity in the present. Now, these words are also essential for goal achievement because you ultimately become what you believe in, and you also belong to a place where people share the same beliefs. I have a question for everyone. What comes before B? As easy as it is, it's A. Good job. Act, action, authenticity. Those are the words that end with A. A study led by Ms. Mayer, PhD at UCLA in social science and psychology, says that acting can actually help shape how people view themselves, as well as their personalities. And then, as the father of American psychology says also, act until you believe it. And that is also linked to, if you want a quality, act as if you already had it. Try to imagine that you are already the person that you aspire to become right now. Just take a second to think about it. Well, what might come to your mind is fake it until you make it, right? Well, scrap this. Fake has a negative connotation, and that's not what we want. I prefer using the verb to act. Act it until you become it. Now, we've come to a point where, by simply thinking about another person, we may adapt ourselves to take the shape of that person, says Ms. Mayer and her colleagues in the Journal of Experimental Psychology. Actors sometimes spend weeks, months, or even years fully immersed into their role, which can explain why they sometimes can have a totally altered personality, or have this kind of thing that's called the imposter syndrome. But there's another way of viewing it, right? Another study led by Mr. Stephen Brown, professor at McMaster University in the Department of Behavior, Social Neuroscience, and also Psychology, has been published in the Royal Society of Open Science. The article says that acting can actually help deactivate parts of the MPFC, which is known as the medial prefrontal cortex, responsible for many behaviors, but most importantly for your self-awareness and also your introspection. It's really interesting, right? Because when I came on stage, I was actually kind of relaxed. But then this little incident happened. My MPFC, damn, it fired up. It overreacted. And actually, overthinking is something that the MPFC is responsible of. As you can see right there are many behaviors listed, but what I want to focus on is self-knowledge, mentalizing about ourselves, and also mentalizing about others. And then that might suggest that acting can actually help you remove those barriers that you put yourself in. Because if I think about the things that always held me back from taking risk or making a fool of myself, well, all of those things, they correspond to the behaviors that are listed there. And acting, of course, we can use that at our advantage. All it takes is action. So, for example, if I want to become a hip-hop rapper, I'm saying hip-hop because it sounds cooler, right? Now, of course, I would need a genuine interest. I wouldn't just do it because I want to be cool. I actually need, if I want to do it, and it's something that's authentic to me, I'm gonna do it. Now, if I just take the time to do research about hip-hop culture, that is something that's really important. Because everyone thinks that if you want to be a pro rapper, you would have to start training rapping skills. You have to do freestyles. You have to do sophisticated rhythms with at high tempo. And I'm not here to do a verse rap of Rap God by Eminem, okay? And then, of course, I would start by changing my own habits, my own routine into what a pro rapper would do. I would start wearing the same stuff that you do, their fashion, speaking the same language, the same vocabulary that they use, the slang. I wouldn't just start working on the technical side, but also mostly on the mental side. And that's where people mostly get it wrong. It's not about just doing it, but it's changing your environment. And of course, self-doubt, okay, is part of the training. You might be like, oh, am I good enough? Am I being cringe? Or all of this. Once you do it and you repeat it, and you start actually believing it, that's where the magic happens. And of course, being authentic is really important, because it will make a difference between you becoming the person you want to become or you living a full-on identity life crisis. That's not what we want, right? So, of course, if you don't have aspirations or goals yet, just try it out. You'll see if it's meant for you. If it's not, well, at least you've done it. And you have gotten one step closer to what's right for you. And then, even though you might have tried many, many things, you ultimately get where you want to go. And then, if we make links with the A's, we have acting and believing. As I said before, when you start believing in your acting, that's where the magic happens. Then we have action and becoming. When you put everything into action, that's where you become. And then authenticity and belonging. You belong to a place where you feel authentic. Now, another question. What comes after B? Good job. Now, try to guess what the 3 C's are. Any guesses? Oh, okay. I didn't think that someone would get it. Okay. Any other guesses? Confidence comes as a part of it, but it's not one of the 3 main words. One last try. Connection. All right. Good job. That was a harder one. There's connect, create, and contentment. Now, just take the time and think, when was the last time that you actually didn't do anything, just sat there and stared at a wall? Well, I know, it's been a while since I've done that, and we're all guilty of it, because we're so overwhelmed and too many things, too many tasks, too many responsibilities, and this method will ultimately help you reconnect with yourself, because you have to take the time to think about how far you've come and what you want to achieve next. Then, of course, you'll have to get creative. Get out of that box. Get out of that, all of those limits that your brain puts into your brain. And by doing that, you have to be creative. You have to think outside of the box and force yourself to act something that might not seem natural to you, but with repetition, with discipline, with consistency, you'll get it. And we'll all get the goal that we all aspire to have. It's contentment. And it comes through all of the hard work you've put in. Contentment, of course. Contentment. What's the question here? Well, there's no question. That's all what we want, right? But throughout the whole process, that's where you get the contentment. It's not at the end. Because everyone thinks that, oh, when I achieve this, when I do this, that's when I'm going to be happy. Well, you all know it. It's throughout the process. And that is something that you should consider. Now, we have all of the words listed here. And let's just bring it down to 3 essential ones. We have act, believe, and connect. Therefore, we have our wonderful method, ABC method for success. So now, I wasn't here to teach you or to do ABC with you guys. That's not the point. But as easy as ABC, this method will bring you success only if you believe it and only if you put it into action. And that is the same for all of our speakers, all of the things that they talked about. You have to put it into action, and that's where it starts. Now, act the part and you will become the part. William James. Believe you can and you're already halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt. Connect with what you practice. Identity follows action. By James Clear. As clear as it is, act until you become it. And that is the ABC method for success. Thank you.